Hello everyone, some very exciting news. Squad Alpha 10 public test happening tomorrow starting at 10 a.m. Pacific. I'm going to be streaming from the second it drops. So tune into this channel and twitch.tv/Karmakut for watching, if you want to watch V10 brand new content for Squad. They're also going to be having a Squad Ops One Life event on the new map at 6 p.m. tomorrow. That's going to be on V10 as well. So if you haven't registered for that, head over to squadops.gg, get in on the first One Life event on V10. So registration will happen on squadops.gg. Make sure you check that out. But yeah, so I'm going to be here streaming first thing in the morning until I pass out. We're going to be playing V10. And they released the patch notes and all this information. So if you want to play V10, you're interested more about what they're actually offering and more about the event for the public testing, go ahead and check out the link in the description. Another thing is Squad is on sale as well. So if you don't own Squad and you want to get Squad in time for V10, it's on sale right now on Humble Bundle. So I'll leave a link to Humble Bundle in the description and at the top of your screen right now. But Squad is on sale for I think it's 40% off on Humble Bundle. Perfect timing for V10 and the holidays. So we're going to talk about, so as you can see here, they talk about how to get into the public test and all that information. We're going to skip all that because you can read that yourself. We're going to talk about the public test patch notes. The V10 patch notes that are going to be coming out tomorrow and the cool things that we're going to get that are going to completely change how Squad is played today. So, transition time from sprinting to aiming down sights is increased. So that means no more running gunning, or at least it's not going to be as prevalent because there's going to be more time where you're running or you're moving and then it takes longer for your sights to come up. So it's not going to be like I'm sprinting and you're running and gunning everywhere and you can just shoot and scoot. It's going to be and it's going to be slower, which I'm really enjoying. I can't wait for that to happen. What that essentially means is it's not going to be as arcadey, and you're going to have to really take advantage of your positions and when you move, because a person that's not moving is going to have an advantage. They kind of had an advantage before, but now it'll be a pretty defined advantage. And I think that was very necessary to kind of make the attack defense a little more dynamic. Because before it's kind of a 50-50 if you're sprinting and he's sitting still. If you're better than him, you can usually just mow him down because that time in transition between movement and pulling your weapon up is almost like negligible, whereas now you really can't be running around corners as much. You got to take it slow, you got to clear your corners, you got to check everything and advance slowly, maybe even with your weapon up, maybe just walking, which before in normal Squad, at least in my experience, I would be sprinting down multiple different areas simply because I know I could get my gun up in time around a corner or at a door. But now it's going to be even more pronounced. So now transition from standing to prone is no longer instant. No more drop shotting. Fabulous. There's going to be an absolutely necessary change here where there's going to be a transition from standing to prone. You don't just drop shot anymore. There's going to be a small period where you have to get down on your knees and then you have to go prone. It's no longer just an instant transition, which I think was really well needed, because in current Squad it really broke your immersion when you're shooting at someone and then they drop shot 180 and then start shooting at you. It just looks ridiculous, right? Because they just drop to the floor, turn around and start shooting at you. But now that's no longer going to be a thing. It's going to look a lot more natural, a lot more immersive, and a lot more balanced. Just a lot more fair play now, because you're going to be able to counter the people who kind of drop shot. It's not really going to be as prevalent because of that transition time. So hopefully that gets phased out of Squad. Crouch sprinting added. Now this is not necessarily crazy in my opinion, but it's definitely interesting. It wasn't something that I hoped and asked for and prayed for, but crouch sprinting is definitely an awesome new mechanic because it'll allow you to get around to places faster and safer. Let's say we have a low wall, you can now crouch sprint behind the low wall instead of sprinting full up and you have your whole upper body exposed. You're now able to kind of duck low and sprint with speed. Of course, it's not going to be as fast as normal sprinting, but it does let you get closer to the ground and utilize those low walls for cover. Additional mocap data for climbing and vaulting has been integrated. So climbing and vaulting, that's in-game now. So you can now vault over small walls and you can now climb over some walls. So there's, instead of like the jump crouch nonsense that we have right now, once again, just making it more immersive, more realistic, having those clean animations integrated in the game now with climbing and vaulting. It's gonna feel so nice. Like it's gonna feel not like a cheesy mechanic to jump crouch. You're gonna have that ability to vault and climb things to get above places that you'd never been before, or just a nicer experience from a quality of life perspective. Free look has been added, and this is something that I really wanted, especially for squad ops when you're moving in formation or when you're moving towards an objective and you want to have guns pointed a certain way, but you want to be able to check your left and right and keep up with the squad. You can now free look, and free look is the ability to separate your view cam from your weapon sights. So you'll be able to look left, look right when you're walking down a hallway with your weapon facing the front, or if you're pulling security on a field and you're locking down a sector, you can check your left and right now without having to move your sights. So it's going to be a really cool feature, not only for squad, but I think really for squad ops, because I think that's where I've wanted free look the most. Weapon sway have been adjusted, so they're increasing weapon sway because right now it's just a little too easy to drop someone, and I kind of agree with this. Like it's turned into like the first person that sees the other person, it's almost an instant kill. Like it's just 2 taps and they're down. This is kind of make it a little bit more difficult, hopefully increase the time of those firefights, because the time to kill right now is really fast, and some of the firefights and these awesome iconic engagements you can get into kind of just end a little bit too fast. So we'll see how these sway effects change the game, but I for one am welcoming sway effects. Weapon collision has been added, careful in tight spaces. I'm looking forward to this for 2 main reasons. Number one, it means that if you're up against, let's just explain this. So what that means is weapon collision is if you're up against the wall, facing the wall, your weapon will come up or down depending, and because that weapon won't collide with the wall anymore. It won't go through the wall like it currently does. Right now in squad, if you go up against a wall, the barrel will stick through the wall because there's no weapon collision, so the weapon will just go straight through the wall. But now in this patch, your weapon will, move with your body and make sure that it's not going through the wall. So for breaching rooms or for holding corners, you no longer have to worry, is my rifle sticking through the door? Because what we've had before in squad ops is like people will get ready to breach a room, they'll stack, and then when they push, that rifle will stick through the wall for a split second, and now the people on the inside know that they're about to breach and can get ready for them to come in the front door. That is awesome. And the second thing is you no longer have to worry about if your weapon is unable to fire because it's sticking into the wall. Your weapon will visually show if you can or cannot fire the weapon, because it'll be down or up depending how close you are to the wall, instead of you accidentally shooting into the windowsill or a wall right now. Scoped weapons have reduced peripheral vision. Reticles have been updated. So there's now a cost when you take that scoped weapon. There's a cost to your peripheral vision. It's no longer, you can see everything crystal clear off the left and right. Because in real life, you can't really focus that well on your left and right as you're looking down the weapon sights. And it kind of adds a game nerf as well, simply because there needs to be some kind of, I guess, nerf to scoped weapons right now. There's no reason to take a non-scoped rifle right now. So this is kind of something to incentivize the usage of non-scoped weapons in certain scenarios. And I think that's a welcome change, because right now in squad, you could take an ACOG into almost any scenario and be just as good as an iron sight. So I think they're trying to incentivize one-times optics or iron sights more, which I think is pretty cool. Iron sight zoom increased when aiming down sights. Now this is fantastic because currently in squad, the weapon is placed technically where your eyes, or the camera is placed technically where your eyes are, if they were to be in real life, which means it's at the butt of the rifle. But what the game doesn't take into account is the additional foot-ish of distance between your real life eyes and your monitor, if that makes sense. So they need to kind of chop off the last half of the rifle to make it feel natural, because they're not right now currently in 9.7 they're not accounting for that distance between your real life eyes and the monitor. So they're kind of zooming in the sights, and it'll make it seem more one-to-one with normal sights in real life. So really looking forward to the increased zoom. Infantry weapons now have adjustable sights. This is awesome because of it'll help us with ranging the grenade launchers. It'll help us with ranging the laws and the rocket launchers. Just because right now, if you want to compensate for drop, you have to aim high, and that just kind of feels weird when you're shooting a GL like 400, 500 meters away and you're like aiming like halfway up to the sky. Now you can aim right on target. You just got to zero your weapon and the round will land exactly where it's supposed to. A new role machine gunner. This is awesome. These are medium machine guns, the PKM and the M240. I can't wait to get some footage with these. These are some beastly weapons here. So it's a whole new role. You still have your saws and your RPKs and standard light machine guns. They just added the medium machine gunner role, which is going to add a lot of suppression. And with these new movement changes, like as I said before, being stationary and being ready is really going to matter 100 times more. So these AR classes and these support classes are really going to shine, I think. Before in 9.7, the MGs didn't really have a use. They were kind of like better rifles. They didn't really do anything special, but they're also adding bipods. So they're going to have the least amount of recoil of all the weapons when deployed. So that's a bonus to take the ARs and the MGs. But like in 9.7, like I said before, they're essentially just rifles with bigger magazines. And now they actually have an additional use. They have bipods for reduced recoil, and they're going to be ready and set for when you need suppressive fire or when you need to repel something. So it's going to be incredibly important to have good MG teams and good MG placements, especially with all the new movement changes. Like these two changes work hand in hand, the MGs and the movement changes. So I can't wait to see these being utilized properly. It's going to be wild. Adjustments to flag capture blocking. So I'm not sure what they did here, but it sounds like something objective-wise. Switching vehicle seats now has a delay that varies by vehicle. So this is important because it stops people from soloing vehicles, right? Because right now, currently, the getting in and getting out of vehicles and swapping seats, it's instantaneous. So you can almost drive and gun a vehicle by yourself. But now there's going to be a small delay to where if you get engaged on and you're soloing a vehicle and you're in the gunner seat, that 1-2 second delay, that's going to make all the difference. You're not going to be able to solo vehicles as much as you were able to before. I think it's still going to be possible, but if you get engaged on first and you're in the wrong seat, that delay is going to make the difference in whether you win that fight or lose that fight. So I think vehicle teams are really going to be a thing now. But I know like in 9.7, I used to get people in my squad like, I can solo this vehicle. It's going to be much harder to solo vehicles now. Several vehicles now have secondary ammunition types, such as the 30mm HE rounds for the Russian BTR-82A. So that 30mm right now, I think currently in game only has one type of ammo, right? It just has one type of ammo. In the next patch, they're going to have AP and HE. So armor piercing and high explosive for infantry. And that's really important because right now the 30mm BTR against infantry, like it's good, it's great. It's a BTR, it's going to do its job. 30mm hurts a crap ton, but it's mainly meant for anti-vehicles. That 30mm rate of fire, a standard BTR 80 with its 14.5 cannon on it does better against infantry than a 30mm with the AP rounds. But now, those 30mm HE rounds have the ability to cause area effect damage, and that might make a huge difference. We're going to see, of course, with the test tomorrow on how that actually makes a difference, but I think it's definitely going to give that 30mm more utility. Several vehicles now have coaxial machine guns. This is kind of important. I don't really think this was needed because a lot of the vehicles right now do really well just with their main gun against infantry, with the exception, as I said, of the 30mm. But yeah, I think vehicles are going to be much stronger against infantry, especially once again with the movement changes. Infantry is going to be slower getting around, and catching them in the open is going to be much easier. So you're not going to have to worry about a lat guy running around and like instant lat shotting you because he's sprinting around like that. They're going to be much more stationary. So maybe this will help the vehicles kind of balance and give them a little more of an edge. But we'll see what happens. I mean, this is all speculation because we haven't really played it. But yeah, infantry movement's going to be slower. So, I don't know. We'll see if this coaxial machine gun helps the BTRs against the new stationary RPG teams, or if it's going to be overpowered. Logistical, not by overpowered, but just too strong, I guess. Logistical trucks will now be able to load and unload 2,000 points worth of space, which can be allocated for construction or ammunition. This is fantastic, because now if I'm running a mortar fob, I don't need to load up construction points. I can just load full ammunition. I don't have to waste that room with construction points. I can now fill 100% up on ammo and have that be the only thing that I receive. Or if I'm building a super fob and I'm not running mortars or using the ammo, I can grab all those construction points and build a super fob pretty fast. So it's nice to see logistical trucks getting additional kind of options on their resupply. So that's going to be really cool. 3-minute pre-match staging period. So this is really fun because we kind of do this in squad ops already, where the platoon leaders and the squad leaders and the squad mates will kind of break out and we'll do their briefings before match. So it's cool to see this coming to vanilla. I'm gonna see. I mean, I don't know how troll it's gonna end up being, but hopefully, like, it's bearable. But it's gonna be cool because instead of right now in 9.7, you kind of just sit in the loading screen or the standby screen. You're gonna be in game. You're gonna be able to, you know, get into local comm, get into squad comms, and meet up with your squad mates and see what the rest of the platoon is doing and stuff like that. So that's gonna be really cool to have that pre-staging period. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. We're gonna be doing, as I said before, a ton of people are streaming the new public test. But I'm gonna be streaming from release as soon as it releases, and then at 6 p.m. Squad Ops is gonna go for it, with a One Life event on the new map. So yeah, if you want to get up on that event, go ahead and check out squadops.gg. Make sure you tune in tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific. I'm gonna hit the ground running with the stream. I'm gonna get monsters and all that stuff. Just chalk up on caffeine. And then yeah, if you're looking to get squad, if you haven't get squad, this is the time. I mean, get it. V10 public test. They're not gonna release it. It's just a 24 test. But I mean, if you're ever gonna get squad right now, Humble Bundle on sale, 40%, and you get to try the V10. Like, how is that not perfect? And it's Christmas. You can play during the break. Like, come on, the holiday season. It's V10 squad season. But yeah, definitely check out humblebundle.com with the link in the description. Make sure you pick up squad. You can try the new animations and all this cool new stuff. Make sure you tune into the stream tomorrow. Squad Ops and myself streaming all day. But yeah, can't wait to try it. Can't wait to get some footage on it. I'm gonna be so hyped. I'm so hyped right now. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I've been waiting for V10 for so long. The new animations and all that. Oh god, it's gonna make squad feel like a completely different game. I'm gonna suck at it at first, but god, the free look, the new animations, like, just watching this is just getting me so excited. But yeah, see you guys tomorrow, and yeah, catch y'all later. Thanks for watching the video, and don't forget to check out Humble Monthly for over $100 worth of games every month for just $12. You'll also get 10% off their entire store, fund a charity, and support this channel all at the same time. Check it out in the description below.